All right, it's done. The big pile of boulders and rocks, it's all been used up in the pond. The very last section I was working on was right here at the main entrance to the pond, which is sort of on the left front of the pond. I've got this flower bed done here. This is one of the shallower spots once the water's in here, so this spot is for the smaller plants. And then it slopes down really sharply, so I kind of put some retaining walls in place. I can put taller plants on it. And then this pot is going to have a lily in it. This is the really shallow area for tiny plants. Some bulbs. But this is one of the biggest improvements I made, beside the second staircase and embedding the rocks in the gravel to prevent slippage, was I expanded this lily bed. It's about almost 3 times as wide as it was before. I can get quite a lot of plants in here now. It was a lot of rocks to haul, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to help keep the pond so much cleaner and filtered. All the poor lilies got crammed into this big bowl. So as soon as it's filled up, before it gets too cold, I'm going to start placing them throughout this bed and getting them established. I got this very last section of wall shored up with big curved rocks that curve around the plants and some gravel and hold them in place better than big flat rocks I had. And the path again with embedded rocks to hold things in place. And the path is now very well established all the way around the pond. I've just started filling it back up. That's the main entrance from the rear of the pond. You're looking at the front entrance of the pond there, my main staircase. Now we're walking along the back of the pond, where I've gotten all the plants back in place. That's approximately where the water line is, to the best of my ability to remember. God help us if I'm off by much and I have to get in this freezing water and move all these plants, because the water right now is between 40 and 50 degrees here, and that is bone-numbingly cold. When I replanted all the trees, I got better rocks, nice curved rocks that'll hold them in place better and shore them up, protect their roots a little bit better. I don't like to put any plants in pots. I want the roots to be free to network throughout the whole pond and make a better filtration system eventually and hold things in place better. Here's the rear staircase. Going down, quite stable. I've been running up and down it with buckets full of rocks and armloads of small boulders. And I've got a nice little solid couple of steps coming off the side of it to take the path I was just on. And then the path continues. And I shored this wall up, put a little tree here, got this wall all shored up. We're now around the back right half of the pond. So there's the front staircase again. And I got all the plants put in up here. I definitely need more plants, but the way I did these walls, oh, I forgot to put something on his roots to protect them. I left a couple final things undone, a couple spots I'm going to shore up with more rocks, but they're really high up, at the top of the water level, so I should be able to do this even after the pond is half full or nearly full. So now we're at the right side staircase, which goes down there, nice and solid. I was taking my life in my hands before every time I used my staircases. This is one of the first flower beds as you come around back to the front of the pond. And this is a nice big one. I had only planted things along the outer edge, but I can fill all this in with plants if I want to. And it's quite deep. Let's see if you can. It's shored up with lots and lots of boulders stacked up. It's kind of hard to get the depth with this camera phone, but I'd say that's about all the way, if you count all the way to the actual floor of this pond, that's probably 6 or 7 feet deep with the gravel and the rocks and everything. It's probably like 3 feet of gravel and then 3 or 4 feet of big boulders and rocks. And I filled up the inside with gravel too. So this would make a nice deep flower bed. I could put a little tree in here. I've got a couple of curly willows in here, and I could plant them in that planter if I wanted because the gravel's so deep, or this one. This is a great one because I put a nice high wall on this one too. So now I can fill this up with plants. And then this is also a planting area that's quite deep, but it's a little bit narrow. So I'm probably going to save this as a walkway and keep it clear, but I can put plants along the outsides of these paths. The most important thing is I can walk completely around my pond now without being in the deep water, because it's 10 feet deep in the middle. It doesn't look like it on the phone, but that's 10 feet deep. And then where my path is, it's pretty deep over on that side. The water's like up to my ribs on that side. But over here where I am right now, the water's only about up to the top of my thighs here. So if I have to do it in the winter, I can put waders on, and the water won't be higher than the waders. And if I do it in the summer, but the water's still cold because this water is icy all year, I still don't have to get in the deep end to do any of this maintenance if I don't want to. So it's done. And the timing has ended up being perfect because when I think it's been over 3 weeks, almost a month. And the first few weeks it really started to rain here, but that was good because it kept my plants alive while I pulled them out. And then these last few days have been bright and hot and sunny, and the plants have been starting to get dried out and die. I've lost quite a few, but that means the brook that I source my water from has been nice and clear, because when it rains, it's just mud. It just looks like coffee running down the waterway. It just looks like coffee. But now, because it's been sunny for a few days, the water's nice and clear. So this is the time to fill it up. I was starting to think if it stayed rainy during this whole project, I would have to leave it empty all winter, which would really raise the chance of more damages and holes in the liner, because if animals get down here and walk around, I got out all the sharp rocks I could, but there are a lot of sharp rocks in here that I didn't even realize were in here, just in the gravel. So I need to fill it up as soon as possible and stop the pressure of walking around on it. And I know I got every single hole possible. I've tested it repeatedly. So this is the perfect time to fill it up. We just have a gravity-fed pipe coming from the brook, which is slightly uphill over there behind that wood stand. So I don't know how many gallons per minute our flow rate is, but the pond holds 110,000 gallons. And I think if I let it go all night long, I think it'll be just about full by morning. I think it takes about four hours or so to be halfway full. So yeah, I think it would probably be full by morning. We shall find out. Anyway, that's it. The monster project is done. And this video should help me remember, if I have to do it again, what the method to my madness was this time. It can serve as my map. The next huge project is I want to make a cobblestone path starting from here. I'm still working on this. This is going to seem like absolutely nothing now. I put this off all darn summer. I don't know what I was worried about. This is a breeze. I'm pulling up all these stones, and then I'm putting the liner under them and putting them back to prevent the weeds from growing up under them. But now I want to extend this path that goes right to the pond all the way across the yard. That's where our driveway starts, over there to the right of the house. So I want to make, with some of these rocks, these nice flat river stones, I want to make a nice sort of meandering cobblestone pathway. It's going to curve a little like a snake. I don't want it to just be a straight shot. And I'm going to, like, kind of like a dry riverbed concept, but very walkable, but a couple inches above the level of the grass. So I could walk out here in my white tennis shoes and not get them all muddy in the fall and winter. So that's my next big project. I think it will be stunning. All right, congratulations to me. I got this done before winter.